All right, so I've got Charlie on the phone, a musician I have previously interviewed a few years ago. So we're gonna get caught up where he is. Charlie, why don't you go ahead and kind of just quickly remind everybody about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, hey, I'm Charlie Odle. I'm a musician originally from California. Played there for quite a while, and then moved over here to Minnesota about 3 years ago, and just getting up and started, and joined a few bands, and we've been gigging since last December. Just having a fun time in Minnesota, loving the music scene here, and yeah, just excited.
Awesome. So, for a bunch of your background, I'll definitely link the previous interview that we did, so they can find out some of the usual questions I ask about how you got into music, that sort of thing. For now, let's talk about kind of what brought you back. What are you here hoping to kind of promote? What has happened in the 3 years since our last interview?
So in the 3 years since our last interview, I think last time we talked, I was in a solo project called Non-Being, and just kind of trying to making things by myself. I was trying to find bands, but was having a really hard time here. But at the same time, I was looking in like northern Minnesota, which is kind of more difficult because a lot of things are centered around the city here. And yeah, so I joined a band about a year and a half ago called Ceasar. And we started playing shows in December, and we've just been gigging out a lot. Been playing, 2 or 3 shows every month, and yeah, it's been a great experience. I was kind of losing a lot of hope in finding a band here. I've just always been in music; it's always been an outlet for me. I grew up playing music, grew up part of a musical family. My dad played drums for a long time, and yeah, it's just something I've always needed to do. So it was super frustrating not being able to do it to the full extent that I wanted to for that few years I was here.
Sure. So tell me what some of the challenges were coming from Duluth to the metro area and engaging in a different music scene.
Oh, it's been actually a really positive experience. There's been a lot of just great bands that are just really welcoming to people that are new to the scene. It's been really great networking with those people. So far, literally everybody I've met has just been super friendly, super promoting other groups within the area, and just really just great people.
Okay, so you didn't encounter any like trouble trying to find where to find the musicians or anything like that. You just kind of fell right into it and figured out where you belonged and got yourself into a project.
Yeah, mainly I was searching through online forums and stuff like Craigslist and Facebook, and actually the MN Music Scene Facebook page was really helpful in networking and getting out there. There were a few kind of weird meetups through Craigslist, but I think that's kind of normal. Um, but yeah, eventually, I was in a band and things weren't kind of panning out in the previous band that I was in here, the first one that I started, and
Mhm.
things kind of fizzled out. And I had this really bizarre tarot card reading that was like kind of, how they're always kind of like vague, like you should really put yourself out there. And so I ended up just answering as many of the replies to my Craigslist ads for band members that I could. And I ended up finding the right people, and it all just kind of panned out.
That's cool. That's definitely an approach to go about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was interesting. There was a lot of tryouts, and there was a lot of projects that didn't really get up and running. But
Tell me about King Caesar then. How did you get involved with that? Is that your project or, give me the rundown of that?
yeah, so it was last March. I ended up meeting up with these guys that just responded to a Craigslist ad. They had similar likes. They were into similar styles of music. It's a stoner doom project that we just got together and started writing, and just had this really positive atmosphere of, anything goes. We won't ever turn away a song. If somebody comes to the table with a song, we're going to play it, no matter what. And I just really liked that. I really liked how the guys were just really easy to get along with. Really great ideas towards songwriting.
Okay. And so how long has it been that you've been working with King Caesar?
So it's been almost a year. actually, I think it's a year this month that when we first started meeting up, and we're working on our debut album right now, and we started gigging in December. And then since then, I think we've played maybe 6 shows.
Okay, so you guys don't have any material released yet. You just went straight to the gigging and while you were still writing?
Yeah, yep. We just went straight to gigging, just to try to, because the first gig, it's kind of like get it out of the way kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just get all the kinks out. And then we just started working on the debut album, and we went into the studio, I want to say about a month and a half ago. Debut album set to release probably sometime in April. We're still mixing right now. But yeah, I'd say probably mid to late April, the album's set to release. The album's named Ward.
And is that going to be like 10 songs or 5 songs? How long do you expect that to be?
I think it's a 45-minute album. It's I think 9 songs.
Okay, perfect. And then, so aside from it being like your debut album, what's kind of the concept and direction that you guys wanted to go in for this first album?
We drew from a lot of different avenues. Lots of it is story based. So we made songs based on movies, based on video games. We have a song called The Tuning, which is based off of the movie Dark City. We have a song called Carnival of Souls, which is based off the movie Carnival of Souls. We have a song called Gorgeous, which is based off of an old video game. But yeah, we just kind of all over the place. And then we have a rendition of an ABBA song, which is something I thought I would never say. But yeah, we did kind of a cover, like kind of our own take on an ABBA song called Eagle. And that's going to be on the album too.
Cool. So it sounds like a bunch of it is kind of a compilation of all the different types of media that everybody is into.
Yeah, definitely into, sci-fi, horror movies and video games, and yeah, just whatever anybody's into, and we just kind of write based on that.
Awesome. So tell me about what happens after the album is out. Obviously, you guys are going to want to book more shows. Where do you see kind of the trajectory that you guys are going in?
So we're already actually writing the second album. We're hoping to pump out hopefully 2 albums this year, and then just gigging more. Our kind of where we really want to get to is opening for bigger bands and playing First Ave or one of their adjoining venues would be kind of like a good milestone for us to hit within the next year or 2.
Sure. For the people that don't know, First Avenue is not just First Avenue. It's actually several different venues throughout Minneapolis. First Avenue is more of a company that owns venues than it is just one venue. On that note, though, obviously First Avenue has its popularity and its fame. Okay, so you mentioned that you are already working on your second album. You have the trajectory that you guys are going to get out there, continue doing shows. You have the ambition to start playing some of the notorious venues in Minneapolis. Where do you see yourself kind of tapping into the regional scene? Like, do you intend to go to Chicago or Omaha or Detroit?
Yeah, we do plan on branching out. Right now we're just trying to gain a fan base, which is just, it's always a process. And we're trying to, play with more and more people and try to kind of tap into their fan base and then gain a following and then kind of branch out. We're also hoping to try to put some publicity behind the album so that we can get on bigger groups and maybe do smaller tours with them, maybe travel out of state. I definitely see Wisconsin within the next year and a half, and then probably, depending on what the album does, depending on where our promotion ends up, that probably will determine where we're going to go.
Awesome. So, since we have interviewed before, I've asked you this question before, but in the 3 years that have happened and your continued participation in music, what has happened that has stuck with you and made you continue down the road?
So just meeting this band, really meeting these guys has really, given me inspiration to keep going and to really get out there. Meeting such positive, can-do people is really great. And it's really, nurturing towards that idea that we're going to get out there and just keep going. And yeah, there's been some great moments, like our first show at Midway was really fun. We recently played what is that place called? I think the White Feather. Is it White Feather? We recently played another venue that was really fun with some younger groups, and it's really cool just to see the next generation of musicians and just kind of see their vibe, and it's been really great.
Awesome. So a bunch of participation with the local music scene has just kind of energized you to continue to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. Like the group War Party,
Hmm.
they're a local group, and the guys from that band are just really great. And then Stone Arc was the younger group that we played with,
Hmm.
and just seeing their energy, it's just really inspirational. I've never really been, since I'm getting older now. I kind of feel like the guys that we used to play with when I first started. It's just really interesting seeing it come full circle like that.
Sure. Awesome. So where can people find this new project and then check out the album once it's released?
So Bandcamp, we're going to be on Spotify. We're hoping to be on some other streaming services. YouTube will be on YouTube. We have an Instagram. We have a Facebook. YouTube, we are trying to submit our music to Weedian, who hopefully will push the album. And so hoping there will be some. We're going to do a full stream of the album straight onto YouTube once it's released.
That's cool. Kind of like a premiere, it's like a virtual listening party kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it'll be there for people to listen to for free. After that, we don't really have any thoughts on like selling the album.
Sure.
It's more we're just going to release it. We're going to give it to the public, and we're just going to, hopefully gain some following from that.
All right. Well, so I always like to give the person I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. So what's a message that you have that you think other people should hear?
Kind of similar to what I said last time. Just keep going, keep going, and don't get discouraged. There's so many people out there in this world that think like you, like the same things you do, who have a similar view and a similar idea. Just never give up. Find those people and just really be kind to everybody. We're all in this music scene together. We're all lovers of music. So just be there for one another and help new artists out. If you have a venue list, you have contacts, drop it to the new guy.